What's up, babe? What's up, Gregory? Come on in, family. Come on in, man. Man, family, pray for me. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Libra love, what's up with you? Man, family, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, may God bless each and every one of you that come and catch this live. And those of you that catch this on the replay later, may God bless you as well. Man, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, and I've been thinking about this all day. All day, I saw a movie earlier, um, Widows. Widows, man, is an all-star cast in that movie, and they played this song, and my favorite singer is Sade, and she had this song, "The Big Unknown," in this movie, and it's like, oh my gosh, it just took my mind back to a whole bunch of stuff, right? And so, man, we're gonna talk about the No Ordinary Love. And again, the title, No Ordinary Love, that comes from a Sade song. That comes from Sade's song. It's one of the first songs that I heard from her. And man, it did something to me. You know what I mean? What's up with you, Loretta? It did something to me. No Ordinary Love. Family, um, start off with the story. There's a farmer that lived out on a ranch, and he happened to come across this egg, and or this nest, this eagle's nest, and there was one egg in that nest. He didn't see any birds around, didn't see the mother eagle, the father eagle, didn't see siblings, nothing, right? And he felt bad for this egg, and he took it back and he put it with his hens. And so a couple of days later, the eagle hatched. And the eagle started, the mother hen, took care of the little eagle, and it had a bunch of other little siblings there with it, other chickens that hatched with it. And the eagle started watching all the other chickens and doing what the other chickens was doing. Stay with me, we're gonna go somewhere today. And so the eagle is walking around on the ground, pecking and eating the stuff that the chickens was eating, trying to make a sound that the chickens make, because that's what all the other chickens was doing. That's not its natural habitat. That's not what it does normally. But that was the environment it was in. And so it duplicated its environment. It copied its environment. It tried to fit in like every other chicken, even though it wasn't a chicken. It got bigger than all the other birds, and still it stayed on the ground, pecking and acting like a chicken. One day when the eagle got old, it happened to glance up in the sky and saw an eagle flying and thought, man, I wish I could be an eagle. Man, what would it be like to be an eagle? Why am I talking about that? Because that's the story of the great majority of us. The great majority of us don't know who we are. We grew up in toxic ass families. We grew up in situations that wasn't conducive to our growth and development. And we took on that negativity. We took on the thought patterns of those around us. We took on the behaviors of those around us. The other day, my queen gave me these feathers. I love feathers. You know what I mean? I got an eagle feather cat. I'm tatted on both calves, right? Along with a bear claw. And it represents the Native American tribe, two different tribes. And so it represents those two tribes that I'm from. But there's something about the eagle that just mesmerized me. There's something about the eagle that just blows me away. You know what I mean? Here's this bird has the ability to soar higher than any other bird. Here it is, this bird has the ability to see further and, man, just do so much more than what it was doing. And yet it was comfortable staying on the ground. Yet it was comfortable just sitting in that little hen, in that hen peck. You know what I mean? Not hen peck, but that little coop, chicken coop, acting like a chicken, even though it had the ability to soar miles in the sky. Even though it had the ability to fly for miles and miles and miles and just go anywhere, it stayed trapped there in this little environment. Because that's what all the other birds were doing. No ordinary love. Why do I love that? Because I want you guys to understand something. So many of us, that know the song "No Ordinary Love," I actually have it on my phone. I can't play it because of YouTube, but I want to read some of the lyrics to you guys. Um, where's it at? So this is the lyrics to "No Ordinary Love." And when you think about this, I want you to imagine the little kid inside of you talking to you. When you hear the words, I can't sing. Man, I wish I could sing. But no, I don't, because I wouldn't be any good. You know what I mean? Couldn't nobody tell me nothing if I could sing, And I know it. And that's probably where God's like, oh, hell no. That's one thing you're not going to get. You're not getting that talent because you ain't going to be no fucking good if I give you that. You know what I mean? And so, no ordinary love. And as you listen to the words, I want you to just imagine that the little girl inside of you is crying out to you, saying these things, these words to you. The little boy within you is saying these words to you. The greater version of yourself, your soul, your spirit is singing this song to you. And it's a trip because one day I was listening to the song and I was like, man, this is kind of depressing, no ordinary love and blah, 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 blah. And look at what she's lost and da-da-da-da, right? All this other stuff. I'm thinking all this negativity, right? And God is like, man, Elijah. And he's calling my name, Elijah. And I'm not even listening to God because it's like, man, I'm caught up in the song. And I'm like, man, how sad and how broken and devastated she must be and feel, right? And God is like, Elijah, Elijah, Elijah. That's your soul singing that song to you. Elijah, that's that little boy singing that song to you. Elijah, Elijah, that's you singing that song to you. Stop listening to the words and thinking about somebody else. You always go to somebody else. You always think of somebody else breaking your heart. You always think of somebody else abandoning you. You always think of somebody else neglecting you and rejecting you. Elijah, that's the little boy inside of you singing that to you. Elijah, that's the young you crying out to you, but you're not listening because your mind is fixated on all the women that's broke your heart. Your mind is fixated on all the people that's walked out of your life. And so you don't believe in love anymore. And so Elijah is this young boy singing no ordinary love. Look at how he's been with you. He's ride or die with you. He's been with you through thick and thin. Everything you've gone through, this little boy's been there with you. Every experience you've gone through, every pain, every rejection, every abandonment, he was hurt with you. Every time you cried, every time you thought about suicide, he was right there with you. Every time you thought about giving up, man, fuck this shit, I'm done with it. Every time you went through something, he was right there with you. What's up with you, Kate? And so, man, as you listen to these words, I want you just, or when you go back and play the song on YouTube or whatever, it's Sade, No Ordinary Love. Imagine it, your soul, your spirit, the little girl, the little boy, singing these songs to you. Okay. And it says, I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside. And you took my love. You took love. Didn't I tell you what I believe? Did somebody say that a love like that won't last? Didn't I give you all that I got to give you, baby? I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside. And you took my love. You took my love. I keep crying. I keep trying for you. There's nothing like you and I. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love. When you came my way, you brightened every day with your sweet smile. Didn't I tell you what I believe? Did somebody say that a love like that won't last? Didn't I give you all that I got to give? This is no ordinary love. Hold on. I keep trying for you, keep crying for you, keep lying for you, keep flying, and I'm falling, and I'm falling. Keep trying for you, keep crying for you, keep lying for you, keep flying, and I'm falling, and I'm falling. And when I heard that song, and when God gave me that message of, man, Elijah, this is your spirit crying out to you. This is your soul. This is that little boy in you crying out, singing this song to you. That's why it resonates with you so much. That's why you feel this song so much, because this is you crying out to you. You're looking for love from all these women. You're looking for this, and here it is, this boy crying out, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, but you can't hear me. I'm here, but we can't hear him. We can't hear her. You know what I mean? This is no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love. We've been so broken and so devastated and so neglected and so hurt. And we think that's love. And some of us take on the mentality of, man, fuck love. Fuck love. And I took on that mentality after my youngest kid's mom left. You know what I mean? She took the 3 kids and moved to Georgia. You know what I mean? And I was so hurt and so broken. And it's just like, man, fuck bitches. You know what I mean? Fuck love, you know? And it's like, man, I had bought myself a ring. It's like, man, I'm married to myself. Fuck these damn women. You know what I mean? I'm never getting hurt again. I'm never allowing somebody to come into my life and break me like that again. I'm never allowing somebody to give them all to somebody like that and they just walk away. They just treat me like I'm not shit. Treat me like I'm the worst thing walking. And I'm doing all that I can for them. And for whatever reason, it ain't enough. And so at that point, it's like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Fuck this shit. I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm done. I'm done with love. I'm done with God. Fuck love. You know what I mean? Love hurts. Family. The name of the song is No Ordinary Love. No ordinary love. And so love doesn't hurt. It's the loss of love that hurts. It's the loss of love that hurts. And anytime love hurts, it's trying to show you, look, this is what you're doing to yourself. This is how you're hurting yourself. This is how you're abandoning yourself. I was telling you, I was watching this movie earlier, Widows, and it's an all-star cast. And I didn't even know that Sade sung one of the songs in this song, on this movie. And the movie is about these women, 4 women, who their husbands work together, but the women have never met each other. You know what I mean? The women have never met up and don't even know each other, right? But their husbands were into the crime and doing all this other stuff. And this one lady, her husband was beating on her. The movie started out, she got a black eye, and he's telling her he loved her, and you know, he's looking at it and all this other stupid stuff. And the main character, Viola Davis, her husband's the ringleader of these guys, right? And man, she doesn't even understand that he has an affair. He's having an affair. You know, he has another little baby, you know, and her husband is Liam Neeson or Nielsen or something like that. So it's this interracial marriage. And so their son, at 20 years of age, is shot by the cops in Chicago, right? He's blown away for reaching for something in his car, reaching for his ID and stuff out the glove compartment. The cops thought he was reaching for a gun and just blew him away. And so they're dealing with that hurt of, dang, you know, if I hadn't married you, you know, if my son had been full white, then he wouldn't have got killed by those cops. And she's hurt because, man, her only child has been taken. He's only 20 years of age. 20 years of age, and he's gone. And so these guys go out on a lick, and they all die. They all die, except for Liam Neeson. You know what I mean? Ringleader. But he fakes his death, and he's running off with this other woman who's just had a baby by him. But his wife doesn't know it. And so all these ladies come together after these guys die. And man, they're trying to figure out, man, we got to get our lives back. We got to get control over our lives. There's one young lady, I can't think of her, an Hispanic young lady. She was giving the money to her husband, and he was taking and gambling it away. Instead of paying for the store and paying for the rent and the property that they got together, she lost everything depending on this guy. And so all these ladies had lost everything. So many of us, we've gone through things in life to where we've lost it all. We've lost a loved one. We've lost a child. We lost a spouse. We lost a sibling. We lost a parent that we was close to. We've lost a dear friend, and we felt like our whole world was flipped upside down. And it's like, fuck, I'm drowning in sorrow. I'm drowning in anger and pain, because if anybody should have died, it shouldn't have been this one. And if anything, COVID has taught us is like, man, death is no respect of person. Death is going to come for each and every one of us. And there's a whole lot of people that passed away in this quote unquote COVID season. And the cold-blooded part about this was people couldn't go to the hospital, and they couldn't say their goodbyes, and they couldn't get closures, because you couldn't have so many people in a funeral home. You couldn't have so many people in a hospital room. And so you got all these family and close friends who can't say goodbye to their loved one. They know they're passing away, and they can't be by their side. Man, death is going to come for each and every one of us. Make no mistake about that. Make no mistake about that. Death is going to come. But that's not the issue. The issue is, how are you going to have lived your life? Are you going to have lived your life? Or are you going to be like that eagle staying as a chicken, never reaching your full potential, because you're so fixated on your surroundings. You're so captivated and caught up in the drama and madness of life and the rut race of life that you're just trying to make it from day to day. You don't know who you are. You've never reached your full potential. You don't even know how to reach your full potential, because you're in survival mode. And so you're like this little eagle who has the ability to fly miles in the sky, and yet is walking on the ground and living his life down on the ground, eating the scraps and the crumbs on the ground, because it didn't know who it was. It didn't know what abilities it had. It had never tried flying. It didn't know that it was a predator, that it should have been eating fish and rabbits and all these other things, and yet it's eating chicken scraps on the ground like the chickens. Man, we got to grow up. You know what I mean? We got to grow up. We got to understand that, man, there's so much more to life than what we've gone through. And that little boy, I've been talking about this for the last couple of days, that little boy, that little girl inside of you is like, man, you got to get your life right. You have to get your life. You got to figure out who you are. You have to figure out that, man, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep going on this merry-go-round, around and around and around in circles and never getting anywhere. It's like we live life on a treadmill. We're running in place and not accomplishing a damn thing. You're doing all this running, but you ain't going nowhere. You're not accomplishing anything. Your life isn't any better off than it was before. And that little kid is saying, man, I got you. I got you. I got you. Come on in. Come on in and talk to me. Come spend some time with me. Why are you so worried about all these other people? Come spend some time with me. I know who you are. I know what you're able to accomplish. I know the pain that you're going through. I know the suffering that you're carrying, the baggage that you're carrying. Come talk to me. Come spend some time with me. I can help you if you come talk to me. I can help you get past this if you just come talk to me. Come listen to me. Come meditate with me. Come converse with me. But we want to listen to everybody else. We want to talk to everybody else. people that don't understand us, people that can't relate to us. We'll go to the doctors and get all these prescription pills for our depression and our anxiety and our fear and our worry and our doubt and our anger and all this other crazy crap. And that little kid is crying out to you, come talk to me. I love you, but the love I have for you is no ordinary love. The love I have for you is not like the love that you've been going through your whole life. The love I have for you is not like the love you had for your mama who couldn't spend no time with you, who didn't want to spend any time with you. The love that your daddy had when he walked out of your life. The love of your daddy who beat the snot out of you. The love of your siblings who was dogging you out and mistreating you and going in on you. No, the love I have for you is no ordinary love. And we have to understand that that love that that little kid has for us is no ordinary love. It's not like all these toxic ass relationships that we've been a part of, where they say they love us and they're cheating on us, where they say that they love us and they're not inspiring us or motivating us or challenging us to reach our full potential. And yet that little kid is crying out, I love you. I love you, all of you. You can't hide anything from me. I know all your secrets. I know all of your thoughts. I know your fears and your insecurities. You can put on the makeup, you can put on the nice suits and the clothes and get all the muscles you want and hide from society. And hide behind your education, and hide behind your money, hide behind your status, hide behind your intellect, but you can't hide from me. You can fool the world, but you can't fool me. You talk all the yeah, but I know you scared as hell. I know you're intimidated. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. The love I have for you is no ordinary love. It don't matter what you've gone through. I love you unconditional. I know all the traps and all the sleazy, slicey, conniving crap that you've done, and I love you still. I know all the crazy, suicidal, violent thoughts you've had, and I love you still. I know all the time you slammed dope and you hid it from everybody else, but I love you still. I know all the times you were stealing and hooking and doing all this other stupid shit. I know all the stuff that you did to keep the lights on, to keep gas in your car, to keep food in the house. I know all the stuff you've done. And here I am still, non-judgmental. Here I am still loving you. I still love you. And all I want is to have a relationship with you. You're tired of being judged. You're tired of being ignored. You're tired of being put down by society and told you're not good enough and told that you'll never be good enough. And what do? You've been told all this crap your life. And here I am. I love you and I want to help you reach your full potential. I know your daddy wasn't shit. I know your mama wasn't shit. I know your brothers and sisters ain't shit. But here I am. I love you. I know all the times you've been molested and the times you've been raped that you don't talk about. I know the times that you've been sodomized and the times you've been groped out in public and nobody knows. And you're ashamed to say something. All the times you got drunk and you got violated and you know you got violated and you're ashamed to say something. You're too embarrassed to say something, and you're living with that fear that somebody's gonna find out. You're living with that fear and that shame. I know how many abortions you've had. I know how many kids you've given away. I know how many kids have been taken from you. I know how many kids you supposedly had fathered and you didn't do a damn thing to help them. I know what you did while you was in the pen. I know what you was doing while you was in jail just to survive. But you don't want nobody to know. You can't hide anything from me. I don't judge you. I love you. But you have a twisted thought of what love is because of all the toxic relationships you've had. Because these people told you that they loved you and they would never leave you and they would take care of you, and then they turned their back on you. Then they went after somebody else that looked a lot younger than you, that had a better shape than you. They went after somebody else that had more money than you. And I saw how that broke you down. I saw how that fucked you up, and you put the gun in your mouth and you wanted to pull the trigger, and you pulled the trigger and it misfired. It didn't fire at all. I know how many times you grabbed those pills and you was popping pills trying to OD. I know all the times you took a blade and you was cutting your wrist. I know you got tattoos covering them up now so nobody can see your marks. I know all the needle marks in your body and you got tattooed over them so nobody can see the history. I know your secrets. I know your fears. And I love you. I love you. You're not going to find any other type of love in the world like this. You're not going to find this from some other guy. You're not going to find this type of love from some other woman. This is no ordinary love. This is me loving you unconditional. This is me knowing everything about you and still saying you're worthy. This is me knowing everything about you, all the crap you've gone through, all the thoughts you've had, and saying you're worthy of love. You're worthy of mercy. You're worthy of forgiveness. I don't judge you. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I love you. I want a relationship with you, an intimate relationship with you. But you're scared to have an intimate relationship with me because you've had intimate relationships with men and women and they've hurt you. They've abandoned you. They beat you. They cheated on you. They've neglected you. They've hurt you bad. And so your thought process of intimacy is tainted. What I have for you is no ordinary love. I know you've gone through hell. I know you've lost a lot. One of the things that I struggled with, and I've shared with you guys my story, you know what I mean? Of being a sin, my father murdered my mom at 2 years of age, and then being molested twice at the age of 6 in church, you know, by guys, you know. And there's something about that messes up with your identity. There's something about losing both of your parents at that early age and growing up in a violent household, an abusive household, you know what I mean, emotionally and physically, and then being molested at the age of 6. There's something about that just warps your sense of identity. There's something about that just messes up your concept of love. It messes up your concept of family. And so I walked around like that, like all the other chickens, because that's who I thought I was. I didn't understand that I was an eagle, meant to soar. I was an eagle, but I lived like a chicken. Scared of my own shadow. I lived like a chicken because I didn't know who I was. And I became angry at God, angry at my life, angry at my aunts and my mom for dying, angry at my dad for fucking up my life, angry at these dudes for doing what they did, angry at my aunt for raising me in this Christian fucked up family. You know what I mean? I was angry at the world. I knew I wasn't going to amount to shit. Because I had been told that I wasn't going to amount to shit. This is no ordinary love. And one of the things that God had to deal with me on is, Elijah, you had a choice. You had a choice. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have a choice. Everything is a choice. And I'm like, no. And so I'm talking to my God, and he's like, Elijah, everything you've gone through, you had a choice of how to respond to it. And I didn't understand that because I had a chicken mentality. And I'm angry at God. I'm rebuking God, saying he's the devil because he's telling me that I had a choice in how I responded to all the hell that I went through. And so I'm blaming God for my fucked up life. I'm blaming God for all the hell that I've gone through. And God has said, you had a choice. You chose to be angry. You chose to react the way you did. There's a whole lot of dudes been molested, and they didn't go sleep with all those women trying to prove they wasn't gay. You chose to do that, Elijah. Because you didn't want to deal with your issues. You had all these women walk out of your life. And you became angry at women for abandoning you. The truth is, you was mad at your mama because she died when you were 2 and you felt like she abandoned you. And you never dealt with that. So you walk around with this abandonment mentality. And so now everybody's abandoning you because that's the frequency you're on. So everybody's leaving you. Because you expect them to leave you. Because your mama left you. And you're blaming her for leaving you. And you're angry at her for leaving you. You had a choice. You had a choice. And that's a hard pill for us to swallow, that I have a choice. And a lot of people talk to me now, like, how could you have gone through all that you go through and still be happy and still have so much joy and have so much peace? Because I have a choice. Through all the shit I've gone through in my life, I've come to learn, man, every day I wake up, I have a choice. I have a choice how I'm going to live my life. I have a choice how, what frequency I'm going to be on today. I have a choice whether I'm going to be in a good mood or a bad mood. That's my choice. Nobody can make that choice for me. Nobody can make that choice for you. You have a choice. There's a whole lot of people who've gone through what you've gone through. And they turned out to be successful in life. They didn't get strung out on dope. They didn't get caught up in sex and abusive relationships, in and out of the penitentiary and all that other stuff. You made choices that led you down that path. Just like you're constantly making a choice of not connecting with that little kid inside of you. You make a choice to hang out with the wrong people. You make a choice to put yourself in toxic situations. Those are your choices. Own that shit and grow up. Own the fact that you've abandoned that little kid inside of you. Own the fact that you've neglected and rejected that little girl, that little boy inside of you. Own that shit. That's a part of being mature. That's a part of growing up. Owning the mistakes we made. Own that shit. In this movie, Widows, these women, man, they took control over their lives again. They stopped allowing guys to dictate how they were going to live. They stopped being dependent on guys because their men had died. Their men husbands had died. There's a difference between being a male and a man. Every male ain't a man. That's another talk, another time. We have to grow up. We have to understand, man, every one of us has to be responsible for the choices we make. And the choices we make is how we respond to the circumstances in life. You can't control everything about your life, but what you can control is how you respond to it. That's what you have control over. So many of us, I've gone through, I told you, I went through a lot of shit. And because I went through a lot of shit, I became a fucking control freak. Why? Because I never wanted to get hurt again. I never wanted to get abandoned again. And so we become control freaks, trying to micromanage everything, trying to control every fucking thing. Why? So that we don't get hurt. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, you chose to be a control freak. You could have started dealing with your issues, but you didn't want to deal with your issues. You thought controlling everything would make the pain go away. You thought popping pills and drinking alcohol and walking to the club tipsy and drunk and lit and thinking, man, you picking out which woman you gonna take home with you and you fucking and all this stupid shit and you doing all this shit. Why? Because you got hurt and you got issues that you're trying to cover up. And so you walking around with all this shit on your neck, gold and all the rings all over your finger, and you trying to be the man. You walking up into the club, throwing your hands up, woo-de-woo, and picking on what woman and just walking up to her and kissing her. And winking at another woman doing stupid ass shit. Because you had issues you didn't want to resolve. You chose to go out and be a hoe. You chose to go out and get drunk. You chose to go out and party like that. And everybody loved you that was around you because you was the life of the party. You was going to turn some shit up. And you wasn't dealing with your issues. You chose to party and have all this stupid shit. You chose that life. When you choose something, you can't control the outcome of your choice. I'm going to say that again. When you make a decision, to walk down this street right here. You make a decision to get in this relationship right here. You make a decision to drink this alcohol right here. You make a decision to go to the store right here or do whatever it is you do. You can't control the outcome of that choice. That's out of your control. That's completely out of your control. The only thing that you can control is your choices. Your choices. You chose to be a victim, Elijah. You chose the gun and walk the streets and do stupid ass shit. You chose to fucking hoodlum. Why? Because you're trying to find yourself. You fucking all these women. Why? Because you're trying to find yourself. All you had to do was talk to the little kid inside of you. All you had to do was get reconnected with the little boy inside of you. That's all you had to do. But nobody told you that. They told you to pray about this shit. They told you to go on a fast. They told you to keep paying tithes and offering. They told you to keep coming to church and keep reading your Bible and all this other shit that can help you. And then you got pissed because you were doing all the stuff that they told you to do and it didn't work for you. You did all the praying, you were preaching as an evangelist, but you still had low self-esteem. You still had insecurities about your manhood because you've been molested and you didn't know how to process that. You preaching and talking to all these people, but you never dealt with your issues. Oh, we're going in today, family. It is what it is, you know what I mean? We got to have these heart-to-heart conversations. And I told y'all at the beginning I was nervous because I knew it was going to be a rough one. You know what I mean? Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, I'm laying hands on people and praying over people, and yet I'm still fucked up. I'm laying hands on people and preaching and quoting the Bible and all this other stuff, and I'm still dying on the inside, still lonely and frustrated and miserable and suicidal and depressed. All the while I'm speaking to the people. All the while I'm reading the Bible. All the while I'm quoting these scriptures. Why? Because the scriptures and praying and all that other stuff couldn't help me deal with my issues. They didn't take the pain away of my mama leaving or my mama dying. They didn't take the pain away of me being molested. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to stop looking for some savior to come out of the sky and to come back and to rescue us. That's never gonna fucking happen. Grow the fuck up. You have to save yourself. You have to rescue yourself. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. It's a whole lot of people in church praying and teaching and doing all this other stuff, and they're lonely and frustrated and miserable and all this other crazy shit, and they're still telling you pray and read and do this and do this. It's like, I don't want to be like you. You're miserable, you're lonely, you're depressed, you're frustrated, you ain't got no joy. You ain't got no peace. Why the hell am I going to do what you do and you're still all these other negative, toxic things? I don't want that life. I don't want that mentality. I want some peace. I want some joy. I want some understanding. I'm tired of fighting. I've been fighting my whole fucking life. I'm tired of fighting. I just want to be able to just sit back and just relax. Why does everything gotta be so fucking toxic? Why does everything gotta be so fucking dramatic? I'm tired of that. I'm tired. I'm tired of faking the funk and acting like I'm all that, and on the inside, I'm lonely and crying when nobody's around. Because I know I'm miserable. Because I know I'm freaking frustrated. There's a song out that I want to say Pac came out with, Nothing to Lose. He was talking about, man, we live our life and it's like we act like we ain't got nothing to lose. I don't even know if that's the name of the song that he had, but he was talking about nothing to lose. And it hit me. It hit me hard because my whole life, I lived my life. I didn't have nothing to lose. I didn't have shit to lose. They told me I wasn't shit from the gate. They told me I wasn't going to amount to shit anyways. I'm supposed to be dead and in prison for the rest of my life. I was damned to hell. I had shit to lose. I look at all these kids in all these large cities running around bang, 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 putting in work and doing this stupid shit. And man, they acting like they ain't got nothing to lose. What's up with you, Leslie? They're acting like they ain't got nothing to lose. Not even understand they got everything to gain. You sleeping with all these dudes. You accepting these toxic ass relationships. These one-sided, lopsided relationships because you don't understand you could have so much more. You think this is the best it's gonna get for you. And so you accept this shit. Because you don't understand you can have so much more. You ain't got to be on welfare and all this. And I'm not putting anybody down. When I grew up, we was on that stuff. We actually had the paper welfare stamps. Old man, been through a lot. You ain't got to live like that. You ain't got to accept the crumbs from massa. Damn that bullshit. You ain't got to accept that shit. You ain't got to accept this lot in life that you're broke and poor and living in the hood and ain't got shit and won't have shit because your daddy didn't have shit. Your mama didn't have shit. Your grandma's still in the hood too. You got 4 generations living in the fucking projects. And everybody live right around each other and y'all cool with that shit. We ain't got to live like this. We don't have to accept this shit. We make a choice to accept this shit. Man, that little kid inside of you is crying out, I love you. I love you. This is no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love. I know the pain you carrying. I know the brokenness you endured. This is no ordinary love. Let me help you. Let me help you. We going to everybody else for fucking help. We go to the government with our fucking hands up. We go to the dope man with our hands up. We go to the pastor with our hand up. We go to the teachers and all these other people with our hands out. We asking the homies, the big OGs, man, who am I? Why are we here? What are we supposed to do? What's my name? Man, we got to get it together. We have to get it together. Family, man, I sit back and I think about life, and sometimes it breaks my heart. You know what I mean? I'm just being real with y'all. It breaks my heart. I see so much pain in the world. I see so much suffering in the world. I see so much brokenness in the world. And I know that it don't have to be like this. Life ain't got to be this hard. Life ain't got to be this destitute. Life ain't got to be this frustrating. It ain't got to be this depressing. We can have so much more. We deserve so much more. Why are we so comfortable accepting crumbs? Why are we so comfortable living beneath our means? Why are we so comfortable in the hood? Why are we so comfortable robbing Peter to pay Paul, living paycheck to paycheck? Why are we so comfortable wanting to wear the latest fads, the latest Nikes, the latest styles of clothes and what-do-do, and ain't got shit in the bank? We got $300, $400 bags, ain't got shit in it except a fucking EBT card. Why are we so comfortable wanting to work for somebody else and not wanting to start our own business? Why are we so comfortable with being treated like shit in a relationship? Why are we spending $600 fucking on a car payment and we ain't got a fucking house? Why? Because we don't know who we are. We don't know why we're here. And so we keep perpetuating this cycle of brokenness. And we get mad because the rich get richer and the poor get poor. We ain't got to stay fucking poor. Why are we getting mad at the rich because they're getting richer when we have the choice to stay fucking poor or to do something about it? But we believe the system that, man, this is your lot in life. We believe that this is the class system. That, man, this is where you're at and this is where you're gonna always stay at. As long as you have that mentality, that's where you're gonna always stay at. As long as you have that broke ass mentality, that's where you're gonna always stay at. We have to grow up. We have to stop perpetuating this victim mentality. We have to stop looking for love in all the wrong places. We're looking for everybody else to come love us, and to come value us, to come accept us. When we won't even reconnect with that little kid inside of us, to understand who we are, to understand why we're here, to learn how to love ourselves, to learn how to value ourselves. Man, it's easier to tell yourself a lie than it is to be completely honest with yourself. I'm gonna say that again. It's easier to tell yourself a lie than it is to be completely honest with yourself. It's easier for you to be weak than for you to be strong. And that's what we do. We lie to ourselves every day. We play weak every day. We play like we ain't got no authority over our lives, like we ain't got no control over our lives. We act as though we ain't got no control over our lives. We act as though we're completely powerless, like we're voiceless, like nobody's gonna listen to us. Nobody's gonna take us serious. Who am I to be crying out in the wilderness? Who am I crying out to be crying out? Man, we gotta grow the fuck up and change. We gotta learn how to deal with our issues. We have to learn how to learn the lesson so that we can receive the blessing, so that we can move to the next level. So many of us don't understand these things. Because we have no idea who we are and why we're here. None at all. I don't have it all figured out, family. I'm just a 52-year-old man who's gone through a lot. Who's made up in his mind that damn this shit, I can't go through another one. You know what I mean? I'm done. You know what I mean? And when I say I'm done, I'm done with being a fucking victim. I'm done with the negativity. I'm done with the woe is me and life ain't fair and wah 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 and whoop. I'm done with the bullshit. I can't do that no more. I won't do that anymore. And so every day I make up in my mind that I'm gonna be happy. Every day I'm happy because I make a choice to be happy. Everything ain't going right for me. Everything ain't easy for me. I don't have all the things that I want in life. But I'm content in my situation because I understand that everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And so I have peace of mind in whatever situation I'm in. I have joy in whatever situation I'm in. I can sit back and smile regardless of what's going on around me and know that, man, I'm good. I'm good. We have to grow up. And so many of us think we're grown. So many of us think we're woke. So many of us think we're there. We've enlightened. We got Buddha conscious, Christ conscious, God conscious. Our third eye's open and all this other stupid ass shit. We think we're there. Because we drank the Kool-Aid. We've drank the Kool-Aid. We don't even realize that our ego has been mind fucking us the whole time and keeping us on this low vibration. Our ego has been keeping us, manipulating us, and keeping us on this low frequency. Why? So that you can never come into contact with who you really are. So you'll never understand who you really are. You'll never have the power that you're capable of having. Because once you realize who you are, once you realize how powerful you are, the whole game changes. The game changes when you walk in your authority. But before you walk in your authority, you got to know what authority you have. And the only way you can know what authority you have is know who the hell you are and know why the hell you're here. How do you become peaceful? How do you get that joy? How do you get that happiness? Get to know you. Get to know that little kid inside of you. Let that be your priority. Let falling in love with you be your priority. Let falling in love with you be the most important thing in your life. Don't allow anything, anyone to come between you and falling in love with yourself. When I say yourself, I'm talking about that little kid inside of you. Years ago, let me end it with this. Years ago, before I met my beautiful queen here, I was married, and I'd taken my wife to Disneyland. She grew up in California, born and raised in California in the Central Valley, 200-something miles from Disneyland. And she had never been. Never been. So I took her to Disneyland. She was almost 40 years old. 40 years old when she went. And at Disneyland, they have this night show that they put on at the end of the where they close the park. They have all these fireworks, all the lights, and all this other stuff. And it's dark out, and we're standing there, and she's looking at the lights, and she's blown away. And I see her crying, tears just running down her eyes. And that tripped me out. It tripped me out because I'd never seen anybody cry happy tears. I have never cried happy tears. I'm 52 years old. I've never cried happy tears. I don't know what that feeling is like. And so I watched this young lady, and tears is running down her eyes. When I cry, man, I'm hurt. When I cry, man, I'm going through some shit. You know what I mean? The world is collapsing. Woe is me when I cry. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm broken. I'm hurt. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking at this young lady, and the tears are just running down her eyes. And she has this glow about her. And I realized she's finally connected with that little girl inside of her. For the first time in her life, she connected with the little girl inside of her. She connected with the princess inside of her. She grew up and had tears of pain and brokenness and abuse and whoop-de-whoop. She'd gone through so much hell that she lost connection with that little girl inside of her. And now, at 40 years of age, she was reintroduced to that little girl. And tears are running down her eyes. Why am I sharing that? Because, again, I've only had tears of pain. I've only had tears of pain, tears of brokenness. I've lost so much. I've gone through so much. And now I sit back and I smile to myself. And sometimes I catch myself just sitting there just daydreaming, and I just have this stupid smirk on my face, this stupid smile, this kid-like smile, and I catch myself cheesing. And I'm thinking about all the stuff that I lost. What's up with you, one love? And I'm thinking about my beautiful queen. I'm thinking about my beautiful wife. And I'm thinking, man, through all of that brokenness, through all of that pain, through all of the rejections, through all of the abandonment, through all of the abuse, I didn't give up. Many times I wanted to. But I didn't give up. The little boy inside of me wouldn't allow me to quit. All the times I wanted to just end it all and commit suicide, the little boy inside of me wouldn't allow me to. Because he knew something that I didn't know in my broken state. He knew something that I didn't know, I couldn't comprehend in my depressive state, in my angry state. He knew that I'd be here. He knew that one day I would meet my queen. He knew that one day I would know what joy was. One day I would know what peace was. One day I would know what happiness was. One day I would know what forgiveness and mercy was. I would know what gratitude is. See, I grew up and I didn't think I had shit to be grateful for. What the fuck did I have to be grateful for? My mama was gone. My pop's in the pen. I was molested. I was in church with people with church people, and I was raised in this toxic environment, constantly told I was stupid and dumb and wouldn't amount to shit and be in prison for the rest of my life, or I'd be dead before I was 18. What the fuck did I have to be grateful for? But now, I could sit back and smile. Everybody didn't make it to 52 years. Everybody didn't live this long. So a whole lot of people died a whole lot younger. Everybody don't have their right thoughts in their mind. Everybody don't have the freedom to get up and go where they want to go. It's a whole lot of people who's gone through less than what I've gone through, who's spending the rest of their life in the penitentiary. There's a whole lot of people who've gone through less than what I've gone through, who've lost their mind and they're strung out. And they'll never get their mind back. There's a whole lot of people who've gone through less than what I've gone through, who's locked away in a mental institution for their own safety, for the safety of others. It's not about what I've gone through. It's about what you've gone through. It's about what you're going through. You can make it out of this. You don't have to give up. You don't have to spend the rest of your life like this. You don't have to spend the rest of your life mad and angry at the world. You don't have to spend the rest of your life hating yourself. You don't have to spend the rest of your life hating the fact that you're a boy or hating the fact that you're a girl. Hating the fact that you're black or you're Hispanic or whatever ethnicity you claim. You can have joy. You can have peace. You can have unconditional love. You can have gratitude. But you have to tap into that little kid inside of you. You have to get to know that little kid in order for you to reach your full potential. That's what life is all about. That's what loving yourself is all about. This is no ordinary love. What I'm talking about is not the type of love you have for Joe Blow on the streets or Betty Jean. You know what I mean? That's not the type of love I'm talking about. Because they sexed you up real good, or because they spending money on you and all that other stupid stuff. They're taking you on vacations and all this craziness. This is no ordinary type of love. I look at my queen and I'm in awe. I never thought that I would have this opportunity again. I never thought that I would be madly in love again. I thought I was cursed. I thought I was cursed. And I'm here to tell you that you're not cursed. I'm here to tell you that you're not damned to hell. You're not damned to poverty for the rest of your life. You're not damned to brokenness and loneliness and frustration and suicide and all this other stuff, anxiety and all that other food. You're not damned to that. You can make a choice. You can be happy. You can have peace. You can have joy. You can have love. The question is, do you really want it? Do you really want it? I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.